The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was the largest room anyone in the galaxy had ever seen. Its walls were high and smooth, made of a metal that seemed to shine without any light. Thousands of alien delegates filled the chamber, each species looking very different. Some had wings, some had scales, some had many eyes, and some had no eyes at all. The sounds of voices and strange clicks echoed through the hall. It was a place where the most powerful civilizations came together, to talk, to argue, and sometimes to fight with words instead of weapons. At one end of the hall, the human delegation sat quietly. They were few compared to the crowd of aliens, but their presence felt solid and strong. Leading them was Admiral Laura Bennett, a woman with calm eyes and hair tied tightly in a practical bun. Next to her sat Ambassador Ethan Cole, a man who had spent his life studying alien languages and politics. Both had been part of countless meetings, but today felt different. Today the air was thick with tension. For decades, humanity had tried to earn respect in the galaxy. They had survived wars, invasions, and betrayals. They had proven that humans were clever, brave, and sometimes stubborn. But respect could not erase fear. The Galactic Council, a group of the oldest and most powerful species, had always been wary of humans. And now the Council wanted something that felt impossible. Chancellor Vereen of the Xeran Dominion, a tall creature with silver skin and eyes that glowed like molten metal, rose from his chair. His voice was calm but sharp, echoing through the hall. Humanity has grown too large, too strong. Your fleets, your weapons, your technology. These are dangers to us all. The Council has decided that Earth must submit to our terms. You must dismantle your defense fleets and allow the Council to control your space operations. Anything less is unacceptable. Admiral Bennett felt a cold weight settle in her chest. She had expected threats, but this was different. This was not a negotiation. This was an order. She glanced at Ethan, whose face was tense but unreadable. They had prepared for many outcomes, but not this. Ethan stood and cleared his throat. Chancellor Vereen, we understand your concern, but humanity did not come to the Council to be judged. We came to be partners. We came to prove that we could live among the stars without fear or violence, and yet you demand we surrender the very tools that have kept our people safe for centuries. How can you expect us to comply with this? A ripple of laughter spread through some of the alien delegates. Many had been waiting for this moment. Some whispered to each other, shaking their heads as if to say, "See, humans cannot understand order." Chancellor Vereen's glowing eyes fixed on Ethan. Order? Humanity's idea of order is chaos, destruction, and war. Your history shows it. Your very nature shows it. The Council cannot allow you to threaten every other civilization with your ambition. Admiral Bennett rose, her voice steady. And what if another threat comes? What if a new enemy appears? One that does not care for your Council or for treaties or for peace? Will the Council defend us then? Or will we stand alone, unarmed, while invaders take our planets? The hall went quiet. The silence was heavy, filled with the weight of history and fear. Some alien delegates looked uneasy. Others smiled. They believed humans were bluffing, that they would bend under pressure like every other species had. But Admiral Bennett knew better. Chancellor Vereen's voice cut through the silence. Humans, you have been given every chance, every warning. Your seat at this council was always a mistake. We tolerated you. We even welcomed you. But now it is clear that your loyalty lies only with yourselves. You have proven that you cannot be trusted. Admiral Bennett's hand brushed against the edge of the table in front of her. Her mind was sharp, thinking faster than ever. The council did not understand humans. They could not see the strength that came from loyalty to family, to home, to Earth itself. They only saw what they feared, power. They feared that humans would never bow. Ethan spoke again, calm but firm. Then this table is no longer ours. A murmur ran through the hall. Some aliens could not believe what they had just heard. They thought humans would argue, beg for mercy. But humans were standing, turning away from centuries of negotiation, turning away from a council that refused to understand them. Admiral Bennett stood beside Ethan. She looked out at the hall, at the thousands of eyes watching her. "We are leaving," she said simply. "We will not dismantle our fleets. We will not hand over our freedom. Humanity has fought for its place in the galaxy, and we will keep it. No council, no matter how powerful, will take that from us." And with that, they turned and walked toward the exit. The hall erupted in shock and confusion. Delegates shouted at each other. Some called for armies. Others tried to stop them, sending messengers running, but it was too late. The humans moved with quiet dignity, leaving their seats empty. The council chamber felt smaller, emptier, and colder with their absence. Outside the chamber, the humans walked down the long corridor toward their transport ships. Laura and Ethan led the way, but the people behind them moved with a shared determination. They had made a choice that would change the galaxy forever. The moment the humans left, every communication channel in the council networks lit up. Alarm signals, urgent messages, and debates began instantly. Alien species that had been allied with humans now argued among themselves. Why did they leave? They shouted. Did they mean to insult us? The galaxy watched in terror. Reports of humans leaving the council spread to every corner of known space. Some laughed, thinking humans were foolish. Others trembled, remembering the wars humans had survived, the battles they had won, and the planets they had defended. On Earth, people gathered around screens listening to news feeds from the council. Civilians, soldiers, engineers, and scientists all watched the images of the empty chairs in the council hall. There was anger, yes, but there was also pride. Humans had walked away from centuries of compromise, from negotiations they believed would only weaken them. They had made their decision. Admiral Bennett entered the main transport room and looked at the waiting crew. We have made our choice, she said. It is time to prepare our people for what comes next. We do not know what the council will do, but we know what we will do. We will protect humanity no matter the cost. Ethan nodded, his mind already racing with plans. We must rebuild our fleets. We must secure our colonies. And we must ensure that no alien power can threaten our home again. The council underestimated us. They assumed humans would bow. They assumed wrong. As the transport lifted off, the grand hall became silent once more. The chairs where humans had sat were empty, but the echo of their decision remained. Some alien delegates whispered to each other, fear in their voices. Some debated what to do next. But one truth was clear. Humans had walked away from the table, and the galaxy had never seen anything like it. Back on Earth, Laura and Ethan convened their first council meeting after leaving the Galactic Council. The room was full of humans from all walks of life. Commanders, engineers, scientists, politicians, and even ordinary citizens who had volunteered to help. Everyone felt the weight of history on their shoulders. Laura spoke first. We are not abandoning peace. We are not abandoning diplomacy. But we cannot hand over our safety to those who do not understand us. From this day forward, humanity answers only to itself. We will be ready for any challenge, and we will protect our people with every resource we have. Ethan added, we will rebuild what we need. We will strengthen our borders, our defenses, and our systems. And we will remind the galaxy that humans are not a species to be controlled or ignored. We are alive. We are strong. And we will survive. For the first time in centuries, humans were united in a way the galaxy had never seen. It was not arrogance. It was not ambition. It was survival. And as the stars shone above Earth, the humans began preparing for a future where no one, not even the most powerful council in the galaxy, could tell them what to do. And somewhere, far away in the cold reaches of space, alien eyes watched. They had seen humans leave the council, but they did not yet understand what it meant. Fear began to spread quietly, like a shadow moving across a galaxy that had always believed itself safe. The humans had walked away, but their story was only beginning. The galaxy had watched in terror as humans abandoned the table. But on Earth, humanity was already planning the next move. They would not ask for permission again. They would not wait for approval. They would build, they would prepare, and they would survive. And no one, not the council, not the alien fleets, not even the galaxy itself, would forget the day humans stood and walked away. After humans left the Galactic Council, the galaxy was in shock. Everywhere, aliens talked about it. Some were angry. Some were scared. Some could not believe it. Humans had always been small in number, but they had a history of surviving impossible odds. Now humans had walked away from the council, and no one could predict what they would do next. On Earth, the news of their withdrawal spread quickly. Screens across every city showed the empty chairs in the council chamber, and voices described the shocked faces of alien delegates. People watched silently at first, then slowly a wave of pride grew. Humans had stood up for themselves. Humans had refused to surrender their freedom. Admiral Laura Bennett moved quickly. She called a meeting at Luna Base Command, a massive station orbiting the moon. The room was filled with humans, commanders, scientists, engineers, and strategists. They had spent years preparing for emergencies, but now, for the first time, their plans were about to be used. "We are no longer under the Council's protection," Laura said, her voice calm but firm. "We have a choice. We can wait for the Council to strike, or we can prepare to defend ourselves. I choose preparation. I choose action. Every human in this room must be ready to protect our people." Ethan Cole, standing next to her, added, "They will not understand our motives. Some may think we are aggressive. Some may try to attack our borders. We cannot control them. We can only control ourselves and our actions. We will secure our space, strengthen our colonies, and ensure humanity survives." Immediately, work began. Ships that had been mothballed for years were brought back to life. Engineers and technicians worked day and night, repairing engines, updating weapons, and installing new defense systems. Civilians volunteered to help, building drones, satellite relays, and communication arrays. Earth had never seen such unity. "Do we have enough people?" asked Lieutenant Sarah Hill, a young officer who had grown up near the spaceports of New York. Laura nodded. "Every able human will find a role. Some will serve on ships. Some will serve on planets. Some will support from home. Every hand counts. Remember, humans survive because we work together, because we do not give up, because we find strength in each other." Meanwhile, in the far corners of the galaxy, the news of humans walking away spread like wildfire. Alien leaders scrambled to understand what it meant. Some celebrated, thinking humans had made a mistake. The Trade League, a coalition of merchant species, called it foolish. "They have abandoned diplomacy," one of their leaders said. "They will regret this." Other species, however, were afraid. Memories of human wars when humans had faced extinction and still survived haunted them. They remembered the Terran Wars, the battles that had left entire systems in ruins, and now humans were gone from the Council. They were free, they were united, and no one knew what they would do next. Back on Earth, Admiral Bennett and Ethan Cole worked tirelessly. They reviewed every fleet report, every defense system, and every colony's readiness. They knew the Council might send fleets to test human defenses. They also knew that humans needed time to prepare, and that patience was as important as strength. In the orbital command room, Ethan looked at a holographic map of human colonies. "Some colonies are isolated," he said. "We need to make sure they are protected. We cannot allow a fleet to take them easily. We need drones, satellites, and autonomous systems in every sector." Laura nodded. "We will start with the outer colonies first. They are most vulnerable. Once they are secure, we will extend our protection to the inner systems. We cannot risk leaving any humans unprotected." Engineers worked on new designs for stealth satellites that could detect enemy ships long before they reached human space. Scientists developed drones that could operate on their own, defending colonies without human crews. And soldiers trained harder than ever, ready for any threat that might appear. Even civilians contributed. Farmers, teachers, and students volunteered to build small defense units, repair ships, and maintain communication systems. Humanity had never been so united, and the sense of purpose gave them strength. Meanwhile, alien diplomats tried to communicate with Ethan. Messages came from multiple species, some polite, some threatening. "Return to the Council," one message read. "You're making a mistake. Humanity is not ready to face the galaxy alone." Ethan read the messages aloud to Laura. "They do not understand. They see humans as reckless, but they do not see what we have built, how we have survived. Their warnings are just fear in disguise." Laura smiled slightly. "Let them worry. Our work is not for their approval. Our work is for survival." Then news arrived of small skirmishes along the border. A Zyran scout fleet had approached Nova Elira, a human colony at the edge of controlled space. They tested defenses, probing weak points. Human forces responded quickly. Unmanned drones launched from the colony, moving faster than any alien fleet expected. Sensors detected every ship, every missile, and every movement. Within minutes, the alien scouts were forced to retreat. Their systems jammed and their ships damaged but not destroyed. The humans had shown restraint but strength. Ethan watched the report and said, "This is just the beginning. The Council thinks humans are weak without diplomacy. They are wrong. We are ready. They have no idea what we are capable of." In the command room, civilians cheered quietly. They had seen the results of human preparation. The scouts had been stopped without a single human casualty. It was proof that humanity could survive, that humans could protect their own. As weeks passed, the Council sent more envoys. They offered peace, trade agreements, and promises of support if humans returned, but every offer was refused. Humans had made their choice and they would not go back. Ethan explained the strategy to a group of young officers. We are not seeking war. We are not seeking revenge. We are securing our future. Every colony, every ship, every human life matters. The galaxy will have to adjust to the fact that humans answer to no one but themselves. Laura added, we will build quietly but strongly. We will defend without unnecessary aggression. And when the Council realizes what we have done, they will understand that humans cannot be ignored, cannot be controlled, and cannot be defeated easily. The alien fleets began to notice the changes. Trade routes that had been open for decades suddenly had fewer human ships. Communications satellites blinked in patterns they could not understand. Autonomous patrols appeared along borders. It was as if humans had vanished and reappeared stronger, faster, and smarter than before. Some alien leaders became nervous. The Supreme Court of the Krelax Federation sent a message. Humans have always been reckless. But this is something else. They are not asking for our permission. They are preparing. Back on Earth, Admiral Bennett and Ethan Cole walked through the training fields outside the cities. Soldiers practiced drills. Civilians moved supplies. Engineers tested satellites. Every human in every role contributed to the preparation. Laura paused and looked at Ethan. They think we will bow. They think we will ask for approval. They do not know humans, Ethan nodded. No, they do not. And they will learn in time, but not now. We have work to do. We cannot rush. The galaxy will see the consequences of underestimating us. As the months went by, humans became more organized. Colonies were fortified with automated defenses. Ships were repaired and upgraded. Communication systems allowed instant coordination across thousands of light years. Humanity had created a web of protection so efficient that even the most aggressive alien fleets would think twice before attacking. But humans also learned patience. They did not strike first. They did not invade or attack. They simply prepared. And the galaxy began to notice. Fear spread quietly. Alien leaders whispered to each other, wondering what humans were capable of. Some even suggested returning to diplomacy, but no one knew if it was too late. One night on the bridge of a defense station orbiting Mars, Ethan looked at the stars. The Council believes we are alone, he said. They believe that leaving the table was a mistake. But the mistake is theirs. They cannot control humans. They cannot predict what we will do. They only see what they want to see. Laura joined him, her eyes on the same stars. We are not seeking war. We are not seeking revenge. We are only protecting our own. And when the galaxy realizes that, they will understand why humans cannot be ignored. Far away, in the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, delegates argued endlessly. Some said humans would return soon. Some said humans were doomed. Some simply trembled in fear. Humanity had abandoned the council table, and now the galaxy faced a choice. Underestimate humans or respect them, and humans continued to prepare. They built quietly, they trained tirelessly, and they united like never before. No alien fleet, no council, no enemy could take them by surprise. Humanity had learned a lesson long ago. Survival was not given. Survival was earned. The galaxy watched. Fear spread. Whispers traveled through trade routes and communication channels. The humans are preparing, one alien leader said. We do not know what they will do next. And on Earth, humans worked on, confident in one truth. They had abandoned the table, but they had not abandoned their strength. They would survive. They would endure. And they would show the galaxy that humans were not a species to control or ignore. Weeks passed since humans had abandoned the Galactic Council. The galaxy was unsettled. Alien fleets moved cautiously near human space, and diplomats sent messages full of warnings and threats. Some hoped humans would return, some wanted to attack, and some simply feared what might happen next. But humans did not reply. They focused on preparation, on strength, and on survival. On the outer colonies, life was changing quickly. Nova Elira, a small mining world, had become a symbol of human determination. Its people had lived peacefully for decades, but now they were under new orders. Autonomous defense systems were installed, and drones patrolled the skies. Civilian volunteers trained alongside soldiers, learning to operate ships, repair equipment, and communicate across long distances. Commander Daniel Harper oversaw the defenses on Nova Illyra. A tall man with a steady voice, he had fought in the Terran Wars and knew the importance of readiness. Every ship, every satellite, every sensor must be active, he said to his team. We cannot allow a single threat to catch us by surprise. The galaxy is watching, and we will not fail. Ethan Cole and Admiral Laura Bennett traveled from colony to colony, ensuring each was prepared. They moved quietly, not for secrecy alone, but to demonstrate something important. Humans did not act recklessly. They acted with planning and discipline. At a command station above the colony, Laura looked at a holographic display. Alien fleets were moving near the border, testing human space, probing for weaknesses. They are trying to see how strong we are, she said. Let them. They will learn soon enough that humans are not easily defeated. Ethan nodded. We cannot underestimate them, but we also cannot rush. Patience is our strength. Let the galaxy make the first mistake. Then came the first real test. A scouting fleet from the Krelax Federation approached Nova Illyra, moving fast and quietly. The humans detected them immediately. Sensors tracked every ship, every signal, every movement. Drones launched, creating a protective web around the colony. The alien ships fired missiles, expecting humans to panic. But the drones intercepted each one. Lasers struck the missiles in mid-air, destroying them before they could reach the colony. The alien fleet tried to retreat, but more drones and stealth satellites had already mapped their exit routes. One by one, the alien ships were disabled without a single human casualty. Commander Harper watched the results on his display. He could not help but smile. They thought humans were weak. They were wrong. We are ready. Back on Earth, Admiral Bennett received reports from every colony. Every outer world was now equipped with defenses, every border had monitoring systems, and every fleet was prepared to respond to threats. Humanity had created a network stronger than anything the Council could imagine. The Galactic Council began to panic. They sent messages to alien leaders across the galaxy. Humans are not returning. They are preparing. They are stronger than we believed. We must reconsider our approach. But it was too late. Humans were not interested in negotiation. They were not interested in proving loyalty. They were building strength for survival. And the galaxy began to understand something frightening. Humans were not just leaving the council table. They were preparing to stand alone. On the bridge of a defense station orbiting Mars, Ethan studied the movements of alien fleets. They think they are testing us, he said. They think they are clever. But we are always one step ahead. Humans plan, humans adapt, and humans survive. Laura looked at him and nodded. Every colony, every fleet, every system is part of the same plan. We will defend ourselves, yes, but we will also show the galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated. Strength does not always need to attack first. Meanwhile, alien diplomats continued their warnings. Messages arrived daily, some polite, some harsh. Return to the council. One message read, do not make us take action. Another said, you are reckless. You cannot survive without allies. Ethan read the messages to Laura and said quietly, they do not understand. Humans do not wait for permission. Humans do not beg for approval. They survive because they act when needed and prepare for every challenge. On Nova Illyra, civilians and soldiers trained together. Children learned basic tactics, adults learned to operate drones, and engineers improved the colony's defenses daily. It was not war yet, but everyone understood that preparation was essential. Humans had learned this lesson over centuries of conflict and survival. A week later, another fleet approached. This time it was the Vakari Armada, known across the galaxy for their strength. They expected an easy victory, believing humans would be caught unprepared. The humans responded in silence. Drones swarmed the incoming fleet, activating stealth fields and targeting systems. Missiles were intercepted before launch. Ships were disabled without destruction. It was a warning, not an attack. Commander Harper watched the results. "They will not try again soon," he said. "The message is clear. Humans are ready, humans are capable, and humans protect their own." Back on Earth, Admiral Bennett convened a strategy meeting. Every fleet commander joined through secure communication links. "We are not seeking war," she said. "We are ensuring survival. Every move we make must protect humanity first. Every colony, every planet, every ship is part of our shield. The galaxy will see that humans cannot be ignored, cannot be controlled, and cannot be defeated easily." Ethan added, "We will continue to prepare. We will continue to train, and we will continue to protect our people. The Council believes humans are reckless. They do not understand that humans are patient, disciplined, and united. That is our advantage." In the shadows of space, alien leaders whispered among themselves. "Humans are more organized than we thought," one said. "They are building a network of power we cannot predict. We must act carefully." But no one knew the full extent of what humans had built. Outer colonies were connected by quantum communication relays, allowing instant coordination. Autonomous fleets could act without direct human control, but always followed the human plan. Defense satellites covered every system. Humans had become a web of strength stretching across the stars, quiet but unstoppable. Even as alien fleets watched, they could not understand how humans could respond so quickly, so efficiently, and without panic. Every test the aliens sent only proved that humans were ready. Every attempt to intimidate only revealed their preparation. On Earth, Laura and Ethan watched the reports. They walked through the training fields outside the cities, where soldiers practiced drills and civilians moved supplies. Every human contributed in some way. "They believe humans are reckless," Laura said, "but humans are disciplined, they are patient, and they are united." Ethan nodded. "They are not ready to face humans yet, and they may never be. But we will not provoke war, we will only protect. That is the difference." As the months passed, the galaxy adjusted to the new reality. Trade routes changed, diplomacy slowed, and fleets moved more cautiously. Rumors of human defenses spread. Whispers of invisible drones, cloaked ships, and instant communication reached even the furthest systems. Fear grew quietly, but fear is a powerful tool. Back on Nova Elira, children played under the watchful eyes of drones, learning quickly about human technology and tactics. Adults repaired equipment, trained with weapons, and coordinated defense plans. Everyone understood that preparation was not just for the military, it was for survival. In the command room of Luna Base, Laura addressed her team. "We are not seeking war," she said. "We are building strength, we are securing our colonies, and we are reminding the galaxy that humans are not weak, humans are not helpless, and humans cannot be ignored. Our enemies will learn that lesson soon, whether they are ready or not." Ethan added, "We are patient, we do not strike first. But when the galaxy makes a mistake, we will act swiftly and decisively. That is humanity's strength. That is what the Council has forgotten." And far away, in the Council chambers, alien leaders debated endlessly. Some wanted to attack immediately. Some wanted to return to negotiation. Some simply feared what humans might do next. But the humans had already moved past the Council. They were no longer waiting for approval, no longer seeking validation, and no longer dependent on the galaxy's judgment. Humans had become a force to be reckoned with. Commander Harper watched the stars from Nova Elira. "We are ready," he said quietly. "The galaxy will see that humans are strong, humans are united, and humans survive. That is all we need to know." And as the stars shone above Earth and the outer colonies, humanity continued to prepare. No alien fleet, no council, and no enemy could take them by surprise. Humans had abandoned the table, but they had not abandoned their strength. They were patient. They were disciplined, and they were ready. The galaxy watched, unsettled. Alien leaders whispered in fear. Diplomats sent urgent messages. Fleets moved cautiously. But humans only worked, only trained, and only prepared. And in the quiet of space, A single truth became clear. Humans were no longer part of the council. Humans were no longer asking for permission. And humans were stronger than anyone had expected. Months had passed since humanity abandoned the Galactic Council. The galaxy was in chaos. Alien fleets no longer moved freely near human space. Trade routes had shifted and diplomacy had slowed. Every species felt unease. No one fully understood what humans had done, and no one knew what they were capable of. On Earth, Admiral Laura Bennett and Ambassador Ethan Cole continued their work. Humanity was no longer waiting for threats to appear. They were building a shield around every colony, every planet, and every fleet. This was not for war. This was for survival. At Luna Base Command, Laura stood before a massive holographic display. Ships, satellites, and drones blinked in colored lights, showing their positions across human space. "Every system is connected," she said. "Every fleet knows its role. Every colony can defend itself and communicate instantly. The galaxy thinks humans are vulnerable, but we are stronger than they imagine." Ethan nodded. "They believe leaving the council was reckless. They believe humans will fail, but humans do not fail when they act together. Humans plan, humans adapt, and humans endure. That is our advantage." The first warning came quietly. Alien ships were approaching the neutral zone near the planet Oralis. It was a minor test. A fleet of small scout ships meant to see if humans had weaknesses, but humans did not wait for attack. They were ready. Commander Daniel Harper, stationed at Nova Elira, watched the approaching ships on his display. "Sensors detect them," he said. "They are probing our defenses." Drones launched immediately, forming a protective web around the colony. Missiles were intercepted. Communications were scrambled to confuse the enemy fleet. Within minutes, the alien ships realized that humans were prepared. They had underestimated the defenses, and they retreated quickly, sending messages of confusion and warning back to their leaders. Ethan and Laura watched the report from Luna Base. "It is happening," Laura said quietly. "The galaxy is beginning to understand that humans are not weak. They are disciplined. They are organized. They are patient, but they are ready." Across the council chambers, panic had begun to spread. Alien leaders argued loudly. "We underestimated humans," shouted one. "They are preparing something far beyond what we imagined. We cannot confront them directly without risking disaster." Chancellor Vereen of the Zyran Dominion glared at the holographic displays showing human defenses. "They are building networks we cannot even comprehend," Vereen said. "Drones, fleets, autonomous satellites, this is not a bluff. Humanity has taken control of its own destiny. They are no longer asking for permission. They are ready." Meanwhile, back on Earth, human engineers worked tirelessly. Every drone was checked, every ship repaired, every satellite tested. Humans were not reckless. They were thorough. They were precise. Every colony had become a fortress, every fleet a shield, and every human a part of the system. In the quiet of space, alien fleets moved cautiously. Some avoided human systems entirely. Others approached slowly, sending messages of peace or negotiation. But humans did not respond. Humanity did not need to. Their strength was visible in every defense, in every successful interception, and in every unbroken colony. One night, on a command station orbiting Mars, Laura and Ethan watched the stars. "They believe they can control the galaxy," Laura said. "They believe humans will bow, will beg, will return to the council. But humans do not wait for permission. Humans act when necessary, and humans survive." Ethan added, "It is time to make them understand. Not with war, not with anger, but with clarity. They must see that humans are not to be underestimated." A few days later, the humans sent a single message, simple and precise, to the entire Galactic Council. It appeared on every terminal, in every communication network, across hundreds of systems. The message was short, but its meaning was clear. You wished for a galaxy without humanity at your table. Now you have it. The message caused immediate panic. Council members stared at the words in disbelief. Some laughed nervously. Some trembled. None understood the full meaning. The humans had not threatened war. They had not declared attack. But they had shown control, unity, and quiet strength. In the outer colonies, civilians watched alien fleets retreat in confusion. The Krelax Federation had sent a small force to test the defenses of the colony near the Orion Belt. Within hours, the fleet had been stopped, disabled, and forced to retreat. Not one human had been harmed. The colonies cheered quietly. Humans had not struck first, but they had proven they could defend themselves without mercy. Commander Harper looked at the reports from his station. "The message is clear," he said. "Humans protect their own. The galaxy has seen it now. The Council cannot ignore it. No fleet can take a colony by surprise. Humanity is united, organized, and unstoppable when it chooses to act." Back on Earth, Admiral Bennett reviewed reports from every colony. She saw the results of training, the effectiveness of new drones, and the efficiency of human fleets. "We have done more than defend ourselves," she said. "We have made a statement. The galaxy will remember today. Humans cannot be ignored, cannot be controlled, and cannot be defeated easily." Ethan nodded. "And the Council still does not understand. They believe humans will return to the table. They believe humans will compromise. But humans act for survival, not for approval. They will learn in time that humans are patient, disciplined, and united. That is our advantage." Meanwhile, alien leaders continued to debate endlessly. Some wanted to negotiate. Some wanted to attack. Some simply feared what humans might do next. They did not realize that humanity had already acted. Every colony, every fleet, every planet was ready. Humans had withdrawn, yes, but they had built strength beyond imagination. In the quiet of space, drones patrolled the borders. Ships remained in orbit, silent but ready. Communication networks connected every human system. And on Earth, people continued to work tirelessly. Civilians, soldiers, and engineers all contributed. Every hand counted, every mind mattered. Humanity was no longer waiting. Humanity had prepared. One evening, Laura and Ethan stood on a terrace outside the main command center. They watched the stars above Earth and the outer colonies. They believed leaving the Council was a mistake, Laura said. But the mistake is theirs. They cannot control humans. They cannot predict humans, and they cannot take what humans have built. Ethan nodded. "We have not sought war. We have not sought conflict. We have only acted to protect our people, and that is all any species can do. The Council will see it soon enough, whether they are ready or not." In distant star systems, alien fleets moved cautiously, sending scouts but avoiding human defenses. Some whispered about humanity's strength. Some debated how to respond. And some quietly began to fear the power humans had built. Back on Earth, training continued. Engineers tested new drones. Soldiers practiced strategies, and civilians learned to support their colonies. Humans were united in purpose, precise in action, and patient in their approach. No one could take them by surprise. Humans had abandoned the Council table, but they had not abandoned their power. A final test came when the Zyran Dominion sent a fleet near the edge of human space. The ships expected easy victory, hoping to intimidate humans into returning to the Council. But the humans responded quietly and decisively. Drones disabled enemy ships. Missiles were intercepted. Fleets were blocked. Not one human life was lost. It was not an attack, it was a lesson. Commander Harper watched the fleet retreat. "They will remember this," he said. "They will remember that humans do not wait for permission. They will remember that humans protect their own, and they will remember that humans survive." On Earth, Admiral Bennett addressed her team. "We do not seek revenge. We do not seek war. We seek survival. We protect our colonies, our people, and our future. The Council believed they could control humans, but they were wrong. Humans are patient, disciplined, and united. That is our greatest strength." Ethan added, "And when the galaxy finally understands, they will know that humans are not to be underestimated. They will know that leaving the Council table was not weakness. It was preparation. It was strength. And it was survival." The galaxy watched in terror. Alien leaders whispered to each other. Diplomatic messages poured in, some begging, some threatening. But humans did not respond. Humans were busy preparing, defending, and growing stronger. Every colony was safe, every fleet alert, every system connected. Humans had abandoned the Council table, and now the galaxy would see the consequences. And somewhere in the quiet of space, a massive fleet remained hidden, waiting, not to attack, not to threaten, but to protect. The humans had shown the first signs of what they could do without lifting a weapon. The galaxy had witnessed restraint, discipline, and preparation. The message was clear. Humanity could no longer be ignored. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council understood fear. Not the fear of war, not the fear of defeat, but the fear of a species that could survive anything, that could endure, that could act decisively and quietly. Humanity had abandoned the council table, and in doing so had changed the galaxy forever. The galaxy had watched in silence for months. Alien fleets moved cautiously, trade routes had changed, and diplomats sent endless messages. Every species had begun to understand the same terrifying truth. Humans were not weak. Humans were not reckless. Humans were united, disciplined, and prepared for survival. On Earth, Admiral Laura Bennett stood on the balcony of Luna Base Command, looking at the stars. Her eyes scanned the fleets of ships in orbit, the communication satellites blinking with life, and the outer colonies connected through a vast network of networks. Humanity had created something no one had expected, a system of defense and coordination that stretched across thousands of light years. Ethan Cole joined her, his face calm but thoughtful. The Council thinks humans will panic. They think humans will return to the table, but humans act for survival, not for approval. They will learn soon enough that our patience is a strength, not a weakness. In distant systems, alien fleets tested human borders once more. Small scouting ships from the Krelax Federation approached a remote colony. Within minutes, the human response was perfect. Drones formed a shield, satellites tracked every ship, and the scouts were forced to retreat with minor damage to their vessels. Not one human had been harmed. Commander Daniel Harper watched the action from Nova Elira. "They believe humans can be bullied," he said. "They are wrong. Humans do not strike first, but when humans defend, they do so with precision and strength. That is why we survive." Back on Earth, Laura and Ethan held a meeting with fleet commanders and colony leaders. "We are not seeking war," Laura said. "We are seeking survival. Every colony, every ship, every human life is part of the same system. We defend ourselves not because we want to fight, but because we cannot afford to lose. The galaxy has underestimated humans for centuries. That ends today," Ethan continued. "Our strength is not just in ships or weapons. It is in unity. Every human contributes. Every plan is coordinated. Every action is deliberate. That is what the Council has forgotten. That is what the galaxy will now remember." As humans strengthened their colonies and fleets, alien leaders debated endlessly. Some wanted to attack, hoping to intimidate. Others wanted to negotiate, hoping to avoid conflict. But no one fully understood the humans' capabilities. Every attempt to test human defenses had failed. Every attack had been stopped before it reached a colony. The galaxy began to fear the unknown power of humanity. A fleet of the Zyran Dominion approached the human-controlled asteroid field of Vesta. It was a strong fleet, larger than anything humans had faced in years. The Council believed the humans could be challenged here, that they could finally be intimidated into submission. But humans were ready. Autonomous drones moved into position, creating a web across the asteroid field. Sensors tracked every ship, every movement, every signal. Defense satellites targeted the alien fleet's engines and communication systems. The humans did not strike to destroy. They struck to defend and to warn. The alien ships tried to retreat, but the network of human defenses was too fast. Some ships were disabled. Some engines were damaged, and all were forced to retreat without achieving their mission. Not one human casualty occurred. Commander Harper watched the results on his display. "They underestimated us," he said quietly. "They thought they could intimidate humans. They were wrong. Humans do not panic. Humans do not beg. Humans protect their own and they survive." Back on Earth, Laura addressed the entire fleet and the leaders of the colonies. "This is more than defense," she said. "This is a message. The galaxy must understand that humans cannot be ignored. Humans cannot be controlled. Humans survive because we act together, because we plan, and because we are patient. Today we have proven that strength does not always need to attack first." Ethan added, "The Council has seen our networks. They have seen our defenses. And they have learned a hard truth. Humans are not reckless, humans are not weak, and humans cannot be controlled. Our survival depends on preparation, unity, and patience. That is humanity's strength." Across the galaxy, alien leaders whispered among themselves. Fear and respect grew in equal measure. Some species began to withdraw their fleets from near-human space. Others considered negotiation, hoping to avoid conflict with a species that had proven so capable. The humans had sent no attacks, no threats. They had only prepared, defended, and survived. On Earth, the civilians of every colony worked tirelessly. Engineers repaired drones and ships. Soldiers trained daily. Farmers, teachers, and students helped maintain the systems that kept colonies connected and safe. Everyone understood that survival was a shared responsibility. Every human was part of the strength that the galaxy feared. In the quiet of space, a single human fleet moved silently, unseen by alien scouts. Its purpose was not attack, but readiness. Every ship, every weapon, every drone was connected to the larger network. Humanity could respond instantly to any threat anywhere. They had abandoned the council table, yes, but they had not abandoned their power. They had multiplied it, hidden it, and made it unstoppable. One day a message arrived from the Galactic Council. It was brief, hesitant, and urgent. Humans, we underestimated you. Your strength is clear. We request dialogue. We seek peace. Laura and Ethan read the message together. Laura smiled faintly. It is too late for them to demand anything. The message is not about negotiation. The message is about understanding that humans cannot be ignored. We have shown them restraint, discipline, and unity. They finally see it. Ethan nodded. We will respond, but not with submission. We will respond as equals. Humanity survives. Humanity is prepared. And humanity has changed the galaxy forever. The council debated what to do next. Some wanted to attack immediately, hoping to regain control. Others wanted to negotiate, fearing further human preparation. But the humans had already acted. They had built an unbreakable network. They had defended their colonies. They had shown that strength does not always come from attack, but from preparation, unity, and patience. Back on Earth, Laura addressed the people of every colony via communication networks. Humans, you have faced the greatest test. The council believed they could control us. They believed we would return to the table. But we did not. We prepared. We defended. And we survived. The galaxy now knows that humanity cannot be ignored, cannot be controlled, and cannot be defeated easily. Ethan added, This is not about revenge. This is about survival, unity, and the strength that comes from working together. Every human, every colony, every fleet has contributed to this success. We have shown the galaxy what humans are capable of, and they will remember it. The galaxy watched in fear and awe. Alien fleets moved cautiously. Diplomats sent endless messages. Trade routes changed, and every species began to reconsider how they treated humans. The council realized that humans had abandoned the table not in weakness but in strength. Commander Harper looked at the stars from Nova Elira. We have done more than defend ourselves, he said. We have changed the way the galaxy sees humans. They know we are strong. They know we are united. They know we survive. That is all we needed to show. On Earth, civilians celebrated quietly. Soldiers, engineers, and leaders shared a sense of pride. They had done more than survive. They had proven that humanity could act together, protect itself, and endure against any challenge. The council had tried to control them, but humans had shown that control was impossible. In the far reaches of space, alien fleets moved with caution. They respected the humans now even if they feared them. Every attempt to test human defenses had failed. Every attack had been stopped without loss of life. The galaxy understood a simple truth. Humanity was not reckless, humanity was not weak, and humanity could not be ignored. Laura and Ethan stood together on the balcony of Luna Base Command, looking at the stars. They will not forget this, Laura said. They will not forget that humans act for survival, for unity, and for their people. They will not underestimate us again. Ethan smiled. No species ever should. Humans have abandoned the council table, but they have built something far greater. Strength, unity, and endurance. The galaxy has learned the lesson. We survived. We endured. And humanity will continue to grow stronger no matter what challenges come next. And so humanity remained standing. The Galactic Council had tried to control them. Alien fleets had tried to intimidate them, and the galaxy had feared them. But humans had acted with patience, discipline, and preparation. They had defended their colonies, protected their people, and shown that strength comes not only from war but from unity and readiness. The Council learned that underestimating humans was the greatest mistake they could make. The galaxy understood that humanity could not be ignored, and humans, united and prepared, looked to the stars with quiet confidence, ready to face whatever the universe might throw at them. For the first time in history, humanity had abandoned the table, but in doing so they had changed the galaxy forever.